Greetings once more. I'm trying to count the number of roads on the left because I haven't got a lot of battery in the old phone for the sat nav, so I think I've been past one turning. It's the 4th road on the left I want. I sort of know where I am. And that's a great metaphor for life. Anyway, I'm off to the village of Hartest. It's on one of my routes. It's my lunch hour, so I'm going to have a little stroll around the village. I'm going to go and see Violet Jessop, one of the most amazing humans that I think ever lived. Well, at the very least, she has an amazing story. It's a lovely day, not too hot, a little bit of sunshine, no showers. I've already fixed one roof leak today, God willing, so we shall see. Just having to double check. I saw a sign for Hartest, and then the next crossroads I come to, someone's had away with the signpost, but I've just checked on my online maps and I do continue up Lambs Lane. A pretty little lane. I often avoid coming up these kind of little lanes. It's such a pain in the backside when you meet someone coming the other way. So I'm going to drive absolutely slowly. About 10 minutes ago I did drive past a police officer conducting speed checks. Luckily I'm in a very dawdling mood today. Hate to meet someone coming the other way going like stink. Well, I think this is the little lane that leads down into Hartest. For sale development site. What a wonderful place to live this would be. This is the village green in Hartest. Beautiful little village, isn't it? It's so charming. So if you're ever travelling through from Bury St Edmunds way to Sudbury way, or anywhere south of Bury St Edmunds, just find the time to have a little stroll around Hartest. It's got a lovely little pub over there called the Crown, which I won't go in because I wouldn't want to leave on such a day like today. I don't think there's much to see up this road, but I'm just getting some exercise. There's a horse chestnut tree there. I don't know if it's going to be a brilliant year for conkers. It's been nice and warm, but a bit too dry, I think. I'll just have a little look over this bridge, see if there's anything to see. I'll turn back and go the other way. We'll meet Violet at some point, don't you worry. It's pretty stale and stagnant, actually. Expecting the winter time it might roar away. Some very nice elderberries though. Must be a good year to make elderberry wine. There's one or two slightly manky looking blackberries here. Doesn't look very ripe. A bit sharp, but some vitamins in there. Tell you what we've also got here are sloes. Now they definitely will not be sweet. Oh, I think they're sloes. They are flippin' sour. Can't eat too much of that one. I think bullaces are slightly bigger than sloes. Oh, I draw your ass up to your elbows, that does. Whew. Must be good for you. I haven't done a lot of walking this week, and you tend to get in a vicious cycle when that happens, because you get tired, so you don't want to go for a walk, and then because you haven't gone for a walk, you slowly get more tired. So I walked a few miles out of the village just for the sake of it. I'm nearly at the next village, I think, so I'll walk back. This little lane here intrigues me. No signpost, and there's a very steep drop from this road down to it. Look at that. You can see by the age of the hedge and the trees lining it that perhaps that used to be a road. Things changed. Perhaps it goes to that farm. No, because the main road comes in that way. So it's a road. It used to be busy and full of people, perhaps, and now no one wants it. It's lovely and open on this road out of Hartest, although here comes one car to run me over. I like the way in Britain, be miles from anywhere, and I'm not that far out of the village now, but you'll often get a bench where you can just sit and ponder. It's Friday, a nice way to end the week. Hear the wind blowing through the ash and oak trees behind me. Though I am suffering a little bit today from, I've been getting more and more of recently when I come back from my holiday to Wales, which I'll take you to perhaps if you're lucky. I've been suffering from double vision. Perhaps I'll go to the optician. I haven't been to the optician for years. Most curious. Sometimes it seems to be my right eye, and other times it seems to be my left. But when I cover them up, they both work reasonably well. They just don't seem to be want to working together. Perhaps I've just worn up. Difficult to feel stressed about that or anything up here. Back in the village now. I enjoyed that little walk. There's the pub I mentioned behind that hedge. Go and look in the churchyard, shall we? I don't know if I've ever seen this before. It's flint, that. You get flint. It's quite boring looking pebbles, but when you knock them in half, they're really sharp. And they're usually set into buildings just in their round form that they come in with big gaps in between, but these have all been turned into squares. And some of them are very big. That would have been a great old stone to make a square brick like that. I don't think I've ever seen that before. I think I've worked out where Violet is. Because she don't appear on any maps that I can find on Titanic. Aye. sorry if all you can see is windscreen wiper. I think she's up this hill. I think is what they call Hartest Hill. It isn't even called that on the map, but I know it because I know a cyclist who lives nearby, and this is, they say, the steepest climb in Suffolk. Yeah, it is a fairly steep climb, isn't it? Something like the 500... There's the fitness cemetery. That's what I was looking for. Do you know what, I am going to just... Anyway, this hill, I think it's number 474 in the country or something, which I find hard to believe. But that beggar, I wandered all round the village for ages, and I was sitting about 100 yards away. That's typical, isn't it? Let's go down the hill again anyway. So you might have guessed that poor old Violet Jessop is dead. But she was one tough woman to kill, I can tell you. That's how steep the hill is. Here we are. Where is Violet? There would seem to be rather a lot of graves around here that are knocked over. Please don't do that, it's not fun. What's wrong with some people? The family found her. I walked past her twice. You walk up the cemetery to about here. It's at this lovely little orange house. I expect they see loads of people come to visit this grave. There she is, Violet Constance Jessop, beloved sister who died 5th of May 1971 in her 84th year. And there lies an amazing woman. Because she worked for the White Star Line. And she was on board the first of the great three big ships, Olympic, Titanic and Britannic. Now she was on the Olympic when it set sail from Southampton and hit the, I think it was the HMS Hawke warship, and that bent the keel. So that had to go back for investigation and repairs, and a couple of years later she unfortunately found herself working for the White Star Line upon a ship called the Titanic, and she was on that when it sank. Someone handed her a little baby to look after, so that was horrendous. So that was the second of the three ships. The first one didn't have a very auspicious start, and neither did Titanic, poor thing. And then obviously she survived the sinking of the Titanic, and during the First World War she was on the third sister ship, the Britannic, and that, no one quite knows why, suffered a massive explosion and also sank. And she jumped into a lifeboat, and lots of the lifeboats were sucked towards the keel of the ship as it was sinking. So she was one of the passengers in a lifeboat that had to jump out of the lifeboat, and she smacked her head apparently on the keel of the ship as it was going down. And she survived that though, and apparently years later she went to the doctor complaining of headaches, and they'd done a few x-rays just to have a look inside her noggin, and they found out that when Britannic sank, she had actually fractured her skull. Do you imagine that? You're in the middle of the sea, being sunk for the second time, and you got a fractured skull, but she survived, and that's why they called her Miss Unsinkable. So there you go. What an amazing woman.